Hey everyone, welcome back. You ready to dive deep again?
Always. What are we getting into today?
Well, today we're heading into the world of construction. But hold on, we're not talking about the actual building stuff.
Oh, what aspect are we focusing on then?
We're going behind the scenes, digging into something that's like the backbone of any successful construction project, no matter what you're building.
Sounds interesting. I'm intrigued. Lay it on me.
We're talking about document management systems, and our trusty guide for this deep dive is the Gold Seal Training Series, a resource for, those aspiring construction pros we have here in Canada.
Yeah, gold seal. That's a big deal in the industry, right?
Absolutely. Like when you see that gold seal, you know that contractor is committed to excellence, to doing things by the book, literally.
And that's where the document management comes in.
Exactly. It's a key part of achieving that gold seal certification.
Ah,
But okay, real talk for anyone who's ever drowned in a sea of paperwork.
huh. You're telling me.
I know, right? The words document management system, they might not exactly set your heart racing. So help me out here. For those of us who aren't construction experts, why should we actually care about keeping all those documents organized, especially on a, busy construction site?
It's all about control. Think about it. You know that feeling when your inbox is overflowing?
Ugh, don't remind me.
Now, picture that on a construction project, but it's not just emails. We're talking blueprints, contracts, change orders, safety reports. The amount of paperwork is insane. A good document management system brings order to that chaos. It's about transparency, making sure everyone on the project can find the info they need when they need it.
Okay, so no more digging through piles of paper trying to find that one crucial detail.
Exactly. Plus, it streamlines everything, making the whole process smoother, faster, and saving everyone time and money in the long run.
And probably a lot less stress too, right?
Oh, absolutely. And here's a big one. It creates an audit trail. So, if there's ever a dispute, you've got a clear record of everything. It's like an insurance policy for your project.
So it's more than just being tidy. It's about mitigating risks and making sure the project runs smoothly. Now, I was looking through the summary of the activity section in the Gold Seal material, and it lays out a process for actually setting up a document management system. It's not as simple as just shoving everything in a filing cabinet, is it?
Oh, no. No, it's much more strategic than that. You need a system. Think of it like setting up a professional kitchen, right?
Okay, I like where you're going with this.
You wouldn't just, toss all your tools and ingredients wherever, right?
Right.
A good chef needs a system. Specific places for knives, spices, pots and pans, everything organized for maximum efficiency.
Makes sense.
Setting up a document management system is the same idea. It starts with the selection phase, figuring out what kind of kitchen you need based on, how big and complex the project is.
Right, so a small residential project versus a massive skyscraper, those are going to need very different systems.
Exactly. Then there's the implementation phase, putting everything in its place, so to speak. And finally, the maintenance, making sure your kitchen stays clean and functional throughout the whole life of the project.
So you got to keep things running smoothly, even as the project evolves.
Okay, I'm looking at the key steps. The Gold Seal material outlines. Were there any steps that, really jumped out at you?
There's one that's often overlooked.
Oh, yeah.
It's the very first step, determining the project needs up front.
Seems pretty basic, but I bet it's important to get right.
Absolutely. It's like planning your menu before you go grocery shopping. You know what I mean?
Right, you don't want to be stuck without a key ingredient.
You need a clear picture of what types of documents you're going to be dealing with. Are we talking building a simple deck or, a whole hospital? That scope really determines how complex your system needs to be. So finding that Goldilocks solution, not too basic, not too complex, just right. What happens if you mess that up? What if you choose a system that's just not up to the job?
That's a recipe for disaster. A system that's too simple might not have the security you need or the tracking features, but then a system that's too complex, it can be a nightmare to use. No one wants to spend hours just trying to find a simple document.
Like trying to bake a cake with a blowtorch.
Exactly. Totally the wrong tool for the job. And, the key steps also talk a lot about accessibility and security, and that's a tough balance. You got to make sure the right people can get to the information they need, but also keep everything safe and secure, especially things like financial documents or, sensitive design plans.
Makes sense. Speaking of real-world examples, the example and practice section highlights this large infrastructure project, and they're using a cloud-based system. It feels like everyone's going to the cloud these days.
Yeah, and there are some real advantages. Imagine a project with thousands, maybe even millions of documents. A cloud-based system gives you this central hub where everyone can access the latest versions of everything. Architects, engineers, subcontractors, clients, everyone's on the same page.
And no more emailing giant files back and forth.
Exactly. Plus, it makes collaboration way easier and, helps with version control so you're not accidentally working on an outdated document. And security is a huge plus. These cloud systems are built with top-notch encryption and access control, so you know that sensitive information is locked down tight.
That's reassuring, especially with all the data breaches you hear about these days. Okay, let's bring it back to Canada. The important section of the Gold Seal material, it really emphasizes that document management systems aren't just like a nice to have, they're a must have, especially here.
Couldn't agree more. A good system is like the central nervous system of your project, making sure everything is connected and working properly.
So it's about the big picture, not just individual documents.
Absolutely. Think about it. A good system helps you meet your contractual obligations. That's crucial in any project, especially those using standard contracts like the CCDC2, which is really specific about document control.
Hmm.
And if a dispute pops up, you got this clear, documented trail of every decision and action that can be a lifesaver in legal situations.
So it protects everyone involved, and ultimately, it just helps everyone make smarter decisions because they have all the information they need, which leads to smoother, more efficient, and ultimately more successful projects.
Right. Less chaos, more success.
And of course, this all ties back to Gold Seal certification. It's about upholding those industry best practices. So for anyone listening who's aiming for that Gold Seal, mastering document management is like essential.
Totally. It's not just checking a box. It's about embracing a culture of organization and transparency and accountability. Think about it. What if we didn't have organized document management?
Oh, wow. That's a scary thought.
Can you imagine? Construction projects would be total chaos, delays, cost overruns, mistakes. It'd be a nightmare.
Makes you appreciate a well-designed system, that's for sure. Thanks for taking us on this deep dive. It may not be the most glamorous part of construction, but it's definitely crucial. And listeners, think about how these principles could apply to other industries or even your own lives. A little bit of organization can go a long way, right?
Absolutely.
And who knows, maybe our next deep dive will explore another aspect of construction or project management. Well, there's always more to learn. Thanks for listening.
Until next time.